movieweb.com.
Now, we hear a lot of negative press and like infomercials before movies start about bootlegging. I'm wondering, do you see this sort of as a pro-bootlegging movie?
No, not at all. I think it's quite funny because we put a kid bootlegging First Blood in one of the opening shots of the film. People assume we're pro that. They ignore the fact that we also show children smoking, driving cars illegally, doing...
executing themselves.
Yeah, so many dangerous things. But the first thing everyone says is, so you must be pro bootlegging. As if we're also pro joyriding and all this other stuff. Yeah, no. Don't do anything that you see in this film. Yeah.
Well, but if some kid like out in Guatemala somewhere living in a village accidentally got a hold of your movie, then it inspired him to go out and make a movie.
Absolutely.
That would be okay though, right?
Of course, to go and make a movie, we're not saying go and bootleg. I mean, the thing is everything in our film is very heightened form of reality. It's how we remember things when we were kids. So that scene when he is bootlegging the movie, it's, you know, he's in a cinema where there's all the people are sitting on the right hand side of the cinema because they're smoking, and there's no one on the left, and he's sitting there smoking a cigarette, getting away with it quite easily. It would never happen. You'd never get away with it like that. Not in any cinema I know.
Well, not today, but back in the 80s when this took place, couldn't you get away with that in the cinemas?
The thing was, we were just trying to make a film that captured how we felt we were at that age, which was, we just didn't think of the consequences. We never thought of the consequences until it was too late, until someone broke their arm or someone was arrested, and then you learnt pretty quickly. And yes, as far as the sort of behaviour in the film goes, we wanted to be honest with it and it feel like it wasn't pandering to children because we think they're smart enough to know the difference between right and wrong themselves.
Well, you guys did a lot of these own stunts, like a lot of your own stunts when you were making films when you were a kid, and I didn't see what you guys actually did. Can you go into some of the stuff you guys actually did when you were kids that was so dangerous?
Well, it wasn't actually the stunts in our films that were that dangerous. I mean, we'd have things that, like crossbows and stuff, God knows how we got hold of them, but we never actually did anything too dangerous as much as the kids in the film do. But I don't know about you, but I remember when I was a child doing stuff that was ridiculous. And I think back and I think we were so lucky not to have lost our heads or, you know, lost an arm, you know, the things we were doing. Even on your bike, you'd go off some ramp and your handlebars would stick into your stomach and, I don't know, just ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, cinder blocks and throwing stars, all that stuff.
Yeah, throwing stars.
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting that you took the school bully and then made him like the protagonist. What interests you about taking a character like that and making him sympathetic or empathetic?
Well, there's a thing, again, it comes back to the big theme of this film was looking back at how we remember things when you were a child. And when you were back then, you know, there'd be a kid who didn't have any parents who was maybe the bully, and you'd think he was the cool kid because he could stay up late, do whatever he wanted. You know, there were no parents around. And it's only when you're older and you look back and you go, actually, you know what? It probably wasn't so great. It probably wasn't so, you know, simple. By not having parents around, his life might not have been as good as we thought it was back then. So it immediately makes it for a more interesting, more rounded, developed character.
Also, I had a friend, one of my best friends growing up, was very much like the character in the film. He was really tough and he was really wonderful, but everyone had written him off as a disaster. Every teacher, every other adult. They never actually knew what went on at his home, and he had it tough at home. But he was the nicest kid I think I ever met at school.
And he was nice outside of school, but inside of school he was kind of...
Inside of school he was just misunderstood and he kept reacting against that and making it worse. He just didn't know any other way. But with me and a couple of the rest of us, he was the most loyal, fantastic boy you've ever met. And even my mother loved him because she could see that there was a sweet kid underneath this sort of fiery exterior.
Now, have you guys become blood brothers?
The two of us?
Yes.
Not physically. That would be really unpleasant. Have you ever been blood brothers?
Yeah, I had a similar thing with my best friend in school. Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? I didn't like it.
When I was a kid, I thought it was really cool.
I thought it was cool when I was a kid, and I've got friends when I was that age. But we only got to know each other when we were 18.
Oh, okay.
And then I think it might have been a little bit strange.
Yeah. And also making films it goes beyond being blood brothers with someone. You're sort of like locked together like a couple of Siamese twins. So we don't need to shed any blood to strengthen these bonds.
So you guys think you're locked together then?
Yes,
forever?
pretty much.